to What's Right with the World with your host, Glenn Ambrose.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to What's Right with the World. Today, we are talking about a very interesting episode that one of our clients recommended. So what do we got there, Ben?
All right. So this came, like you said, from one of your clients, and I think it's great. It's from the BBC News. My robot makes me feel like I haven't been forgotten is the title of the article. Basically, it is about shut-ins and elderly people and housebound sick children who are being able to keep in touch with their teachers, family, and friends by the use of these robots. Such things as like OK Google and Alexa and those sorts of things. Zoe Johnson, 16, hasn't been to school since she was 12. She went to the doctor in 2014 with a bit of a sore throat, and somehow that became an A&E, an accident and emergency. The doctors diagnosed her with myalgic encephalomyelitis, I can't pronounce that, ME for short, also known as chronic fatigue syndrome, a debilitating illness affecting the nervous and immune systems. She missed a lot of school but was able to continue her studies with the help of an online tutor. But over the years, her real-world friendships disappeared because she's not well enough to see anybody. For the last 3 months, though, she has been taking classes alongside her former classmates using a telepresent robot called AVI. The small, cute-looking robot made Oslo-based startup No Isolation sits in the classroom and live streams video and audio back to Zoe's tablet or smartphone at home. She can speak through the robot and take part in lessons. How cool is that? So this is even another step further than what I was talking about.
Yeah, and I saw the picture on that, and they've got this little robot thing sitting on a desk, and it's just so she can actually be there in the classroom and interact. That interaction with kids is with other kids and socialization obviously can get lost in this day and age of technology for a lot of reasons, So anything that has them interacting in a way, that's why, like I have to remind myself that I like my son doing FaceTime because
right,
at least, at least he's live interacting with somebody and they can see him and he can see them. And it's, they're actually interacting in more of a real life way, because this technology, it secludes. We're always out. I mean, kids didn't stay home when I was a kid because you would be bored to death, if you stayed home. So you went out so you can interact. Now it's not so much like that. So,
and even, the technology, like the FaceTime stuff that you're talking about and not keeping people isolated or bringing people together. This podcast really wouldn't be possible anymore without this sort of technology.
Right. So, the technology really, it's, we're so used to looking at the negative aspects of it and, and kind of rightfully so, there are certain dangers when this stuff comes up, and technology generally moves faster than people are ready to handle it. So, so it comes on and usually it causes some controversy because we're not good at it yet, but as time goes on, if we keep our focus on the solution and looking for the solutions and looking how to use this stuff for good, and all of a sudden we start finding it. And I think the true purpose of technology starts showing itself, like us being able to reach people with the message that we have, and especially with the little caveat of you being in Rhode Island and me being in Florida, which is a nice little twist to it. But you've got this little girl that didn't feel a part of because an illness, and now she's feeling a part of because she's interacting in a school environment to the best of her ability. And that's, that's a huge leap forward where this stuff can actually, I'm sure, a lot of kids don't want to go to school until they can't. All of a it's, because we've got that natural resistance and stuff like that. But, I'm sure this is a huge highlight for her.
Yeah, definitely. I just and as far as the elderly and shut-ins and connecting with family and stuff, obviously that's a huge issue. I mean, people have family all over the country, all over the world, and when you're not able to travel to them,
right?
Especially if you're elderly and especially for shut-ins, my grandmother who lived with me growing up was a shut-in. She didn't leave the house unless it was for a doctor's appointment or a very rare occasion, as she got older. And we didn't really have, I didn't get my first iPhone until a year after she passed, and Skype wasn't perfect and stuff back then. You know what I mean? So it was very. I would have loved if she was able to, live in the world today and
connect to people,
and connect to people and talk to her son in Florida and all of that stuff. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, and I think the world is shrinking in a lot of ways where it's through technology. People can work from home like me. I work from home. So like if yes, I wanted to be in Florida, but if I wanted to move to, the middle of nowhere where, I just had to make sure I had an internet connection and I could buy a house for half the price of where you can in well-populated areas, that's possible now. So
absolutely.
So, when you're doing that and job relocations and all that stuff, it happens a lot more nowadays. So you've got families spread out all over the country. You've got one child here, one child there, and it's difficult to travel all around the country visiting everybody, So, staying in touch with an interactive situation really can keep you better connected. So, and this robot is obviously, we're kind of talking a lot about the day-to-day stuff that we're using, and that's accessible to everyone. But this robot just takes it to a whole nother level.
Absolutely, to people that need a whole nother level.
Right, exactly.
And that's what's awesome. And the fact that we're going there and going to all of these new places that technology can bring us and making people not feel alone anymore, that would have otherwise felt alone. And sorry about that.
More technology.
Yeah, more technology. This time the bad usage by me. Anyway, so that's it for this episode. If you want to see a video of this episode,
check it out on Patreon.
Yeah, join us on Patreon. Patreon.com/Glenn Ambrose. Tons of exclusive content there. Glenn, are you having fun making the little videos that you're doing for Patreon?
Yeah, it's neat, kind of giving people a little inside view of me and my life, kind of, because it just makes it a little bit more personal, and I like that.
Yeah.
So hopefully people can feel a little bit closer to me, connect a little bit closer, and feel more comfortable that, I'm just a guy like everybody else, living my life and quite frankly, juggling a lot of things. One of the biggest excuses I hear is that, my life's too busy. I've got too much demands. Well, I'm a single parent. So do I. So there's a lot of demands, and it's not always easy,
Yep.
But we can all do it no matter where we are in our life. Just start with one thing at a time. And I think that's what Patreon and the videos and the exclusivity of all this stuff, it gives us an opportunity to show people that a little on a whole new level.
Yeah, and we're going to go more in depth on that on the Life Lessons and Laughter feed. We're going to do an episode just talking about what we're doing over there. So check that out if you want to support the show. It's the best way to do it. Thank you guys very much for listening. Glenn, anything else you want to say?
And that's it. Thanks for listening and watching. for those of you that are watching. And we'll talk with you soon.
Glenn is available for life coaching sessions. To book an appointment or for more information, go to glennambrose.com, follow him on Facebook and Twitter, or click the link in the description of this episode.